Good morning. Good morning. Let me get this set up. Let's see. And save. All right, let's get to it. Starting over here with our scans. So this morning I'm seeing three up here on the scan: LMFA, GCTK, and this one DYNX. I don't know what that is, but it does have catalyst on today, some kind of catalyst. So let's go ahead and look into those. LMFA leading the day with 9 million shares, up 24% only. Okay, not up that much. Press releases. Let's see, the last news release from the company was on July 8th. SEC filings, July 8th. Okay, so that was a while back. Let's go to GCTK, July 8th. Also, press release on July 8th, so it doesn't have any really recent. It's the 21st, so it's been a couple of days since that popped off. Let's look at DYNX. DYNX looks to be a recent IPO of some type. Let's go into this. Okay, Ether machine expected to launch with over 400,000 Ether and manage the largest pool of assets in a public vehicle for pure play institutional grade exposure to Ethereum, led by Ethereum trailblazers with first-hand experience driving Ethereum's rise from a nascent protocol to a cornerstone of the digital asset ecosystem. Largest all common stock financing committed at announcement since 2021, anchored by a contribution of approximately 645 million from Andrew Keys alongside. Let me make sure my mic is on while I'm over here reading this. Okay, yeah, my mic is on. All right, largest all common stock purchase or stock financing commitment or committed at announcement since 2021 by contribution, all right, from Andrew Keys alongside an upsized common stock financing in excess of 800 million from top tier institutional crypto native and strategic investors. Okay. So yeah, they got a little bit of news there. Let's go look at these charts. Well, before we go look at the charts, so the shares float on FM. Why am I saying FM? LMFA. The float is 4.93 million. GCTK under a million, and DYNX at 16.60. It is up to $14, and then we got a $10, and then we got a $3.97. ATRs, both of these have ATRs over $1, and we got an ATR of like 53 cents. But yeah, let's go look at these charts. Okay. Okay, DYNX. Okay. So we'll start off with the leader, LMFA. No catalyst since July 8th, and it came up here and tested this 431 a couple of times, and we've seen this a couple of with a couple of those crypto types where they'll be trading like this and then all of a sudden blow up, and it's really unpredictable. But since we're here on Monday morning, it's the start of the week. We'll see what it does, but it's just hard to predict which ones are going to come out with some kind of crazy crypto news and pop, 5, 10, 12, $20. So I'm just going to read, look through these charts, and let's start on the daily chart actually. Let's start over here on the daily. this. Okay, so we'll go here. LMFA. Let's see. Good morning, Cody. So on the daily chart, for LMFA, obvious things that are going on. So it closed as 323 yesterday or on Friday, right? And it only went up to 474. So right around a little bit over that. Let's see, right around here somewhere. There somewhere. Okay. So let me see. But with it, without the catalyst, we really gotta wait. If it gets some kind of crazy crypto catalyst, then we'll know why it's up. But until then, we really don't know. Plus, it's only up 22%, so it's kind of not going up like a not going up crazy like we're used to. Let's go to GCTK. Okay, this daily chart looks like they must have did some kind of reverse split. This GCTK is looking crazy. Let's see, trading from how long is? Looks like a gap up, then a fall down, then a gap up, then a fall. So they had to do some kind of splits in here or something. And it's up to $10. So it's up. Pre-market high was 12.30 up here. 12.30 right there. All right, for obvious things, so we had this big gap from 944. Well, I guess I put it under it. 1044, which is where it's actually sitting right there. 960 is the body of that candle. 944 will be losing a whole dollar. But let me label these as well. So let's go to possible daily resistance. Okay, so this is pre-market high. Pre-market high. Then we got a possible support level, daily support at 1044. $10.44 on the daily. Then we got where it's going to be re-entering the gap down here under 917. So re-entering the gap. Gap down, re-entering gap down. Gonna be a little bit of weakness down there. Okay, so pre-market high, possible daily support, entering the gap down, and then below that point, it's just all the way into the gap. So we got, what's the bottom of this candle? 781. It's on down there, but it's not super obvious, I don't think. Maybe 736 would be a better. That's gonna be closing that full gap again. Closing gap. There could be a little bit of support. We got another one popping up, HSDT over here. It's $13. It is a float under $1 million. It has news on the day. Let's jump to that one since it just popped up. Let's go look at that one. HSDT. It announces a positive outcome of the portable neuromodulation stimulator, PONS stroke registrational program, and upcoming submission to FDA under breakthrough designation. All right. So this one's coming up. It's got 1 million shares traded. Let's pop over to that and see what's going on there. Okay, daily chart for, what is this? HSDT. 60% up. Million shares traded. Let's go look at HSDT. daily chart. Okay, what is going on here? So it was at $8, $8.90. Get rid of these drawings. Remove all of this. All of this, and was at $8.90, and now it's up to pre-market high of $15 even. This thing is super flat. I can't even. Okay. Wow. Okay, so see, that's 16 bucks right there, and it hit a high of 15. Somewhere up in here. So this is pre-market high. Pre-market high. Bam, bam, at $15 even. It has this gap up here at 1605, possible daily resistance. Possible daily resistance. Back down here towards 1227. That's a filling that gap to the downside. So gap downside, possible support. Gap fill to the downside. Gap fill. Okay, let's scoot back a little bit more. And that's the most recent. So this happened, all this gapping and stuff happened on last month of the 26th. And came back up here and hit that 15, almost gap fill. But below that, I'm not really sure. All right, so let's go read into this. HSDT with catalyst on the day. Okay, Helios Medical Technologies, a neurotech company focused on delivering novel therapeutic neuromodulation approach for balance and gait deficits. Today announced positive outcome for PONS, and it just tapped through that 15 right there. I'm gonna be going over there in just a minute, but let's just read up on this. Let's see, supporting planned FDA submission seeking an indication for gait and balance deficit in patients. Key primary outcomes. A double-blinded randomized clinical trial met the primary input point demonstrating statistically significant greater improvements in gait and or balance deficit due to stroke with active PONS therapy with and without, including additional data from an open label study using statistical methods to balance baseline characteristics. The studies also confirmed a minimal incidence of adverse events and good treatment tolerability. Okay, let's go see where this is from. HSDT. Helios Medical Technologies. Okay, so this is out of Newton, Pennsylvania. Company headquartered in Newton, Pennsylvania. Okay, let's jump back over. Okay, are they talking money at any point in this one? Total 59 patients, blah, 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 primary endpoints. No money being exclusively talked here, but this low float. Did make some moves, so we will put it up there and we will notate. This one's out of Newton, Pennsylvania, and all of that good stuff. Barely made it out of this, out of the ATR highs though. ATR highs are right here at the 15, which is literally where it tapped pre-market and broke through. So that was a break. So this one, it actually invalidated this 15. I don't know what it wants to do with the 15, but it does have ATR here at 15.27. So we'll see if it comes back below that. But we still got our possible daily resistance up there at that 16.05, that gap fill that we were looking at. And I probably should have put gap fill on there. Possible daily gap fill resistance. Gap fill upside, or how do I want to say that? Possible upper gap fill, I guess. I don't know. Gap fill. There we go. Okay. So yeah, that's the daily, that's that upper gap fill that I'm thinking is going to be a resistance. And then it's got the ATR right here at 15.27. Only 5 million shares traded, or actually 2.21 million shares traded, up 72% right there. It is number 3 on the day, but both of these DYNX and HSDT have catalysts, so we'll see what happens there. Speaking of those, I didn't go over to DYNX and look at the chart, so let's go do that. DYNX. Let's zoom back a little bit. Ooh, what kind of chart is this? Okay, so it was at $10.25, popped all the way up to a pre-market high of $25.74. So all the way, I mean, the high was 10.48, so it popped way past this at, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to see how that goes. That's kind of a big pop, and it's rotated towards the downside, so I don't know. That's kind of crazy there on DYNX. Let's see where it's from. DYNX. DYNX is out of Houston, Texas. Dynamics Corporation does not have significant operations. It intends to effect a merger, amalgamation, share exchange, asset acquisition, share purchase, reorganization, and similar business combination with one or more businesses in the energy and power sectors. The company was incorporated in 2024 and is based in Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. Okay. So it doesn't really have any operations. So I don't, that doesn't really pull the strings that I like. So HSDT is the most interesting one, looks like right now. But we'll keep all 3 of these up. GCTK, LMFA fell off. So LMFA fell off on down here, going down. So under 20%. So I take that one off. So we got 3, GCTK, DYNX. Like I said, it's got a crazy move up here. Started at $10, went all the way to 25 and came back. We'll see which one becomes HSDT, breaking down the ATR high there. So tap that top side and coming on down. And then GCTK. All right, well, if you got, okay, Mike B called out. Let's see. Great news on APLD. You get called away at 1190 on APLD. LD. You're already at, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, it definitely made that 1190 for sure. It gapped up, so 1198 all the way up here to 1222s. And this is what we were looking at last week, you know, trying to see if it can come back to this point that it has been to so many times. And you definitely got that. So I know you are, you know, getting everything paid off from your trip to Italy for sure. Let's see what we got here. Nice. Yeah, collecting those coins. All right, let's go look around at the overall We'll look around at the overall market real quickly. So we are sitting at 23,279. Has continued to just grind up on this overall market. Let's go and look at where oil is. Oil back to 67s, 66s. Coming on down. And then let me go and look at let's jump over here to the overall. Let's see what the front page looks like. Everybody's seeing on Yahoo. EU steps up reprisal plan as trade deal hopes fade. All right. EU is eyeing more ways to hit U.S. business if Trump's increasingly hardline stance ends in a no deal. Okay, Wall Street earnings message, good just isn't good enough. U.S. stock futures climb with rush of earnings ahead. Let's see. Stellantis warns a 2.7 billion loss due to cost. Tariff hit. Ryanair won't switch Max 10 order after Boeing reassurances. Block stock jumps on its addition to S&P 500. Okay, everyone wants to be a bank now. Banks aren't happy about it. Yeah. Ether machine to raise over 1.6 billion. So that this Ether, what was that? GCC? Which one do we see that was talking about Ether? Ether, DYNX, this one that is moving up. It has a little bit of news on the front page. Ether machine, okay. China advances 167 billion Tibet mega dam despite risk. All right. Verizon boosts annual profit forecast on demand for premium plans. U.S. tariffs could cost Italy up to 0.8 of GDP, business lobby says. All right. Let's see what else. What else do we have here? All right, let's go over here and look into the news on here. News feed details. What we got over here. So for July 21st, let's see, where's the date start? July 20. Okay. Wise Key confirms new cross-border center of excellence. Jeep maker warns of a shock 2.7 loss as tariffs bite. Nvidia China comeback. Block stock jumps. Tesla. Investor notice. Tempest AI. Substantial losses. Looks like a lawsuit on Tempest. TEM. Let's see. Japan faces trade uncertainty after ruling party's election defeat. The Ether machine. DYNX is up there. Lexin FinTech. BZAI. WAG. Filing a Chapter 11. Bank of America Securities remains a hold on Tesla. This is 6 a.m. More ETH news out there. BTCS, what you got going? You doing a Form 8K? Okay, as long as you're not doing any kind of offering here. July 21st, enter securities agreement investors, which company will issue to investors 5% original issue, aggregate principal, connection with notes. Okay, exercisable at $8 per share. So the offering is expected to close on July 22nd. So we should see BTC fall a little bit. Has offering on it. It was grinding up all last week. QBTS Quantum is up a little bit. They had a SEC filing there. Quantum. All right, block raise. We saw that news. Buying market. Okay, so BTCS is also putting out ETH news. Saudi Arabia. All right, so that's the last news that I see that has the volume that we kind of look for. I forgot what I had this volume set up. So I had the volume set for over 200K in volume. Okay. All right. Let's jump back over here to scan, and also let's look at the what's going on today on the 21st. What speakers do we have? No speakers for today. Tomorrow we have Chair Jerome Powell opening remarks at the integrated review of the capital framework for large banks conference in Washington, D.C. We also have the speech Vice Chair for Supervision Bowman, innovation at the integrated review of capital framework for large banks, Washington, D.C. And then after that, I don't really have any speakers to that are posted here. Okay, so let's jump back over to the charts and check out these four that we got. LMFA, GCT, LMFA is probably going to be losing out here soon. It can't even hold 20%. GCTK is probably going to take the lead position. And then we also have DYNX and HSDT. So let's jump back over. DYNX back to the 15 minutes. So we looked at the daily charts for these. DYNX on the 15-minute looking kind of drastic. The 15-minute fall off was from the 21 all the way back down here to the 14. That is some big movement down for sure. And it was on that crazy crypto news jumping up there like that this morning. All right, let's jump back over to TCTK. Another one taking a fall from 11 down to 10s. And HSDT of 53%. Straight to bed, got home 4 hours ago and just woke up. Oh man. Oh man. You gotta reset your time clock, your rhythm. Because what was the time difference? You said it was like 5 hours or something from California or something. I forgot what you said, but it was some difference like that, 5 or 6 hours. Or good morning, CJ Spady. What was the news on which one? We got 3 up here on the scan: GCTK, DYNX, and HSDT. Which one are you referring to? Here are the charts. So here's the 15-minute for HSDT. Here's DYNX. Big old pop up there. And then we got GCTK. Mike D also says, I have some XYZ shares I'm holding. They had great news last week. XYZ. And then CJ Spady said DYNX. Let's go look at DYNX. So DYNX on this crypto news. Let me get over here. DYNX shares are trading higher after the Wall Street Journal reported the company plans a merger to form the Ether Machine. All right, so the Ether Machine was also on the front page up here. Where'd it go? Ether Machine right here, set to raise 1.6 billion in NASDAQ debut. So right here, Ether Machine backed by crypto giants, set to raise over 1.6 billion in NASDAQ debut. Says the Ether Reserve, a new crypto venture backed by prominent crypto investors, will list on the NASDAQ through a merger with blank check firm Dynamics Corporation as it and is expected to raise over 1.6 billion. The combined entity to be named the Ether Machine aims to launch with more than 400,000 Ether on its balance sheet. positioning it as the largest public vehicle for institutional exposure to the world's second largest cryptocurrency. Shares of Dynamics more than doubled in pre-market trading. The deal highlights rising institutional interest in holding crypto on corporate balance sheets, a strategy popularized by Michael Saylor at Strategy. Okay, so that was a little bit of the news. They're looking to be raising 1.6 billion. It was on the front page of Yahoo Finance, and it is also over here popping up. This is the company DYNX, another crypto catalyst. All right, so let's jump back over to the charts. Oh, also we were looking at Mike D had called out XYZ. All right, so XYZ block shares are trading higher after it was announced the stock will join the S&P 500. So block set. Is this crypto too? Let me go look at overview. It sounds like crypto. Block set. Okay, so founded in 2009, Block provides payment services to Block. Okay. Um to payment services to merchants, along with related services. The company also launched Cash App, a person-to-person payment network. In 2024, Square's payment volume was almost USD 250 million. What are the bulls saying about it? Block stock's outlook appears positive due to its strong revenue growth, highlighted by seller revenue exceeding expectations driven by robust gross payment volume trends, particularly in the US. The company's balance sheet also reflects a solid financial position with 10.7 billion in liquidity, which supports ongoing investments and a remaining 4 billion buyback authorization. Additionally, market expectations indicate improved economic conditions could enhance payment volumes and software spending, with management forecasting gross profit acceleration and significant margin expansion in fiscal year 2025. Bears are saying Block's outlook appears negatively impacted by expectations of lower than consensus gross profit for both the first quarter and fiscal year 2025, suggesting that the company may struggle to achieve growth targets. Furthermore, the performance of the Cash App has shown stagnation with flat year-over-year monthly active users and lower engagement metrics, indicating potential challenges in driving user activity and revenue external risks, including increasing macroeconomic uncertainty, competition from Apple's Tap to Pay, and regulatory challenges in buy now, pay later offerings, further contribute to the skepticism surrounding Block's ability to deliver on future growth projections. So we'll see how they're doing. Over here on the analyst trend, we have how the buyers and sellers, the analysts have been changing over the months. So February, buyers, March, buy with a hold, June, buy with some sellers equal, and then July, more buyers coming in there. So grade rating, I guess it would be a level 4 buy, level or grade of 66, and 100% buy, it will be all the way up here. But I believe this goes from 100 to 0. All right. Anyway, let's go back over to these ones. Yeah, I saw that XYZ used to be Square. We'll see how their competition does. Where was I at? SHD up to $18 now. So it came up here. This was the upper gap fill that we thought could be some type of resistance. It bounced right on through that, right over the ATR high at the 1527s. It has 4 million shares traded right now. Relative volume is looking like 200 times its normal volume. DYNX has 148 times its normal volume. and GCTK has only 20 times its normal volume. So these two are definitely in competition. One has 6 million, one has 4 million, and we'll see. One is only up 30% though. DYNX only up 30%, and this one is up 107. So a lot of eyes on HSDT right now. Okay. I'm on the 1 minute. Let me look back at the 15. 15 was where I was. Okay, so 15, nothing clear on the 15. 5 minute. Well, the 15 and 5 didn't really change, did it? Interesting. All right. 1 minute. So this was that upper gap fill. We'll see how it holds between at the $16 and down to the 15.20s is where it needs to hold up above. But definitely some big moves coming out of there. ATR for it is no way. This ATR is not, can't be right. 277. Yeah, they must have did a reverse. They had to do a reverse split or something on HSDT. Let me look it up. There's no way that ATR is that big. ATR on HSDT. When has HSDT performed reverse splits? Okay, so they had a couple of reverse splits. Boy. So reverse split history. They did a split in 2018 for a 1 for 5. They did a split in 2021 for a 1 for 35. They did a split in 2003 for a 1 for 50 reverse split. They did a split in May 2nd, 2025 for 1 for 15. And then they did another split July 1st, effective June 30th for a 1 for 50 reverse split. So reverse split king over here. They've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 splits from 2018 to 2025. So they keep doing all these splits. Something's telling me that and all of them were reverse splits. None of them were forward splits. So yeah, they're kind of struggling. They're kind of struggling. Let me put a note out here. This is a reverse split king out here. Reverse split king. Yeah, so we're gonna put that right on out there so we don't forget that. Right out here, reverse split king. We got another one popping up. SABS has news on today as well. SABS, it is up 49% with news on today. Let's look at it and see what's going on here. SAB Biotherapeutics. Go to the news. Okay, so July 21st, it says announces it is oversubscribed 175 million private placement. So participation from strategic investors and Sonify, along with new investors, RA Capital Management, Commodore Capital, Vivo Capital, Blackstone Multi-Assets Investing, Spruce Street Capital, Forge Life Science Partners, and Woodline Partners LP, existing investors. Proceeds expected to be fully fund completion of pivotal phase 2 safeguard study. What are they studying? Okay, so they expect proceeds to extend cash runway in middle of 2028. Potential for up to an additional 284 million gross proceeds. Okay, here we are. Let's say so. A clinical stage biopharmaceutical company with a novel immunotherapy platform that is developing human anti-thymocyte immunoglobulin (IgG) for delaying progression of autoimmune type 1 diabetes in newly diagnosed autoimmune T1D patients. Today announced that it has entered into securities purchase agreement with certain accredited and institutional investors to raise 175 million upfront and gross proceeds in an oversubscribed private placement financing. All right, so let's see. Pursuant to terms of the agreement, will issue an aggregate of up to 1 million shares of the company's Series B note or non-voting convertible preferred stock, which are convertible into up to an aggregate of 100 million shares for, or let me see, yeah, 100 million shares of the company's common stock at a conversion price of 1.75 per share, or $1.75 per share. In addition, the company will issue warrants to purchase up to an aggregate of 1,500,000 shares of the company's Series Bs. Okay. So anyway, they got to catch up in volume anyway. So they got a million. Let's go look at the float over here. The float is 7.34 million. A little bit cheaper. I'm gonna throw it up there. It is a low float. So we got SABS popping up there with news on the day. GCTK just continues to fade off. I'm not gonna mess with that one. It's got a lot of competition rolling up under it. The competition hadn't caught it yet, but we got 3 with catalysts on today. So I'm thinking this is gonna be more of more of watched things coming into the open. But they're just not leading the day yet. So DYNX down here at $13 after hitting all the way up there at 25s, but only up 30%. HSDT falling back to this point, this daily upper gap fill resistance we marked here at 1605. It is a reverse split king. They've had 5 reverse splits over the since 20. Let me add that to the notes so they can give me some more gasoline to understand this. They have 5 reverse splits from 2018 to 2025. So over a, what is that? Or I said 2015, 2025. How much is that? So they hit this little 16. Yeah, so reverse splits all through these last years, and it's continuing. It showed a little bit of popping right here on this 1605, but I'm thinking it's gonna get on through there. Let's go and look at SABS daily chart. SABS daily chart. So it closed yesterday or on Friday at 257, and it is now up to it hit a pre-market high of 423 up here. 423 up here, right there. Pre-market high. Okay. Then it has this big old gap right here. So gap starting at around 3. I mean, we could call it 325, but I guess 350 to 325, somewhere up in here. Let's go look at that. I guess I just marked the bottom of this 330. It is what it is. We'll just say that's the start of that gap. So gap entry to the downside. Downside gap entry on the daily. Gap entry on the daily. Okay. Then we have all the way down here to 250s, where that's the gap exit to the downside. 250s ish. But we also had a previous, this is where it stopped at before. So this is a downside gap exit. Could be some type of support, maybe. Downside gap exit. All right. So we're just in here floating. Has 3 million shares. Is catching up with HSDT. Let's go look at these ATRs. So over here on the ATRs, GCTK had $1 in the ATR. DYNX had $1 in the ATR, but this HSDT being a gap king messed up their ATR. This ATR is super unrealistic. 277 in ATR is just crazy. Um, and then SABS with the ATR of only 34 cents. So we got 4 up here right now. DYNX. And then HSDT coming right back to the 1605 after popping off of it a little bit. Looks like it wants to go ahead and get down through that. It's at 79%. ATR high here is at 1523. So below that, it's going to be on that struggle bus. I like to see them well above that ATR high. Like SABS up here, way above this. Give me some, show me that you're actually moving out of there. Or like DYNX, I think it's well above its ATR high as well. So ATR high is down here at $10. It's up here at 13. And then GCTK with no catalyst on the day is not doing much either. Okay. This one again, popping off of this 1605. But getting some snatch down there. SA, ESS. Let's go to the 15 minute. 15 minutes, 5 minute. Okay. Let me read some of these chats. Let's see. I'm gonna buy S shares or some shares at 18 if it gets there. High tunes recording how long I've been trading. I've been trading for a while. But I guess if you take into account the other types of trading that I do, I guess since 2016, I've been trading. So, building portfolios and getting in. But this stream is pretty much for day trading. As far as the longer term stuff, the dividends and all that stuff, we talk dividends usually in a Discord. Sometimes I pull up dividends on this stream, but that's usually when it's just a dead morning. Oh my goodness. SABS falling on through the floor there, falling back towards. So this is the downside gap entry we saw on a daily chart. But yeah, just depends on what type of trading you're into. Are you swinging, day trading? What you into? Because we do I just don't like missing opportunities that much. So I pretty much trade. I have a strategy for everything basically. Long term, short term, swinging, whatever. And if it goes, it goes. Right? You got to accept that risk. HSDT back up to 17. Does that mean it's going up or down? It popped back up off of this level. Once again, that 1605 seems to be, what's it? 1605 keeps on popping in and holding up there. Move this a little bit. Reverse king. It's got 5 reverse splits in the past couple of years, and looks like it's about to do maybe an engulfing candle. The bottom of this is 1625. Okay, SABS. What's the float on that one? Float on SABS is 7.35. Then we got a float on DYNX of 1660. So DYNX actually has the highest float on the day out of all of these. Interesting. All right. HSDX again returns. So this is 3 times it's coming back down to this 1605. 1, 2, 3. Point of control at 1621 right now. Looks like it wants to get through it, but it's been holding there bravely. I think it's going to end up knocking through that. DYNX. Bottom of this one was 1250. It's only $1 away from that 1250 level. And HSDT is catching up quickly in the volume, and also SABS is also catching up. So some hard competition coming up behind these. But people are moving a little bit slower on these for sure, because a lot of these, it seems like they should have been to 10 million shares and got on out of there, but I don't know. Kind of not a super aggressive Monday morning, seems like. And these have crazy relative volume too. So the R-vol on SABS is 100 times its normal. HSDT up has 261 times its normal, and then DYNX has 163. But we're just not seeing that volume really pumping there, getting 10 million shares. You're getting that, that running up volume. That daily chart on DYNX just looks crazy. This one, so it literally has, like, this is where the chart starts. Big pop up, pop down, grinded up here slowly, went all the way from here to $25. I mean, that is an insane, makes the rest of the chart just looks flat. All the way up here to $25 is where, what was it? Let me mark the pre-market high there. Pre-market high was 25.74. Pre-market high 25.74. And that was at 74. So way up there from where this thing was. Insane move. Let's jump back over. SABS throwing some wicks up there, up 49%. It's about to catch up with HSDT. About to take that third spot, so it's going to be number 3 on the day, moving on up. SABS. Now this previous level that it had, let's go to the 15-minute. Look at this previous level. Pop down here, 15 minutes to the 338s, way down there. Popped all the way back up to the top of this 15 at $4 flat. 5-minute. I mean, it really was looking bad, but now it's looking like it's going to engulf. We'll see if it actually ends up doing anything, but it is slowing down up here towards this $4 whole dollar level. The last time it stopped, it was at the that $quarter level. So 4.25, and now 25 cents down, $4, and we'll see if it continues to get weaker and weaker around this 3.75. Is it playing around $quarter levels is the question. Yep, up, down, drop. It's kind of crazy there. Let me jump back to the 1-minute. And look at these little top and tails. These little top and tails forming right at that $4 level. Point of control right now is at 380. So the majority of the trades that have happened this morning have been at $3.80. Right above that next $quarter level, that 3.75. TCTK, DYNX, Sabis. So it has passed HSDT in volume. Okay, and that says a lot about HSDT strength, with being up 85% and getting it's something with lower volume or lower percent gain, getting more volume is not looking good for HSDT. This one is up 53%, coming back up here to this $4 hold dollar level with these little wicks. These little wicks are telling us that something is here. We don't know what a break will look like here. It did a small little breakout to 403s, but something is sitting there stopping it. And it's about to pass, looks like it's about to pass DYNX here too as well in volume. So it'll be taking the number 2 spot, and then the number 1 spot is still GCT when it comes to volume, or GCTK when it comes to volume, but it hasn't really been moving that much over here because it doesn't have a catalyst. All 3 of these other ones actually have catalysts. Biggest mover is open. For this morning, let's see what open's doing. Open looks like it went from, let me jump back to the 15-minute. Okay, so yeah, open definitely was moving Friday into this aftermarket. So open went from 189, closed around 226, grinded up in the aftermarket from 226, and hit a high during pre-market at 324, and now it's settling around 286 point of control. So, and the good thing is it's not just slapping around. It's a nice slow movement, just creeping on up like a nightmare. All right, yeah, SABS, let's jump back over there real quick. We looked at the 15-minute, it had jumped all the way up here, and now it's right back to that $quarter level at the 375s. Okay, so those top and tails are telling us something. Somebody's sitting there. Somebody is sitting there. So we got 3 stocks in the 6 million volume range, and then the top 2 that are up here, LMFA and GCTK, just crossed over 10 million shares with no catalyst. SABS finding a little bit of resistance there at that next $quarter level at 375. DYNX, I'm wondering, it's front page news. I'm wondering, could it possibly get back up to 16 or so? Up 31% though. It's not up huge for sure. But we've seen these before, but the ones we've seen, it was before they did this big rip. This one's already went from 12 to 25. So what's the probability of it ripping all the way to 25 again? I think it's low probability. That's a big move. That's a $10 swing up to the upside. But could it move a little bit smaller than that? I wonder. Because right now it's kind of stacking up here, 1350s. Let's see, the top of this is 1361. It's going towards this bottom of 1302. Very interesting. But it is about to get passed by SABS in the volume. $100,000 shares, and it will be getting passed up here. And it just broke down, so it's only up 27%. Everything else is over 30% right now. SABS. What was that? Nothing. All right, SABS coming on down. Where are you at? Popped back off of this 1605 again for HSDT. The only problem is, you know, this one for some reason is losing out on the volume. I don't know why interest is falling away from this one, but it is. 375 just kind of huddling around that $0.25 level. Again, this is a 3 tap down here, 299s. For DYNX, only up 28% now. Just looks like it's just walking on down. SABS breaking on down a new low. GKT. All right. SABS did get past you said Cable said a 600 million float. Yeah, open is a little bit safer than the low floats, for sure. It takes a lot of money to move that little cheap one. You said been bag holding for $4 for a few years. Oh my. All right, so yeah, HS or DYNX got passed up by, boy, it's a lot of stuff flipping in and out. Okay. DYNX got passed up by pretty much everything else on the chart right now. So volume is very low there, and the percent gain is not something that people are like, oh man. Well, I mean, they got this 95% mover, and then they got a 69 and a 46% mover. So, you know, I'm thinking that they'll be more focused on these higher percent gainers. HSDT turning around again. Turning around again there. Just continues to come back to this 1605, and it is that reverse split king. This one's again making its way over 375. SABS over 10 million shares traded now. And the previous point that it struggled with was this $4 flat. 10 million shares traded though. Oh, 52%. Will it get hit again here? Yeah, it keeps getting slapped in the mouth. GK. It's about to catch up with it's about to be the #1 stock, SABS, in volume. Why are so many people so interested in SABS? It's a biotech, but crypto has been the thing that's been really firing off. So I don't really know why it's receiving more attention than DYNX. Maybe people got burned a little bit too much on cryptos. I don't know. But again, a lower high there. Coming on down. Let's see if it gets back below 375. Holding that 50% mark. Okay, DYNX doing a little bit of a turnaround. I may take a little bit of DYNX and just see if it can play up to the upside, to be honest, off of this low here. This crypto has been a little bit of a blaze. Just give it a small little play. Get a little bit down here around 13. It's been settling down here. We'll see if it plays up to the upside. I'm not sure. HSDT continue to come down. Yeah. So the 13 right there. We'll see if it comes down some more. But very interesting. It's definitely been settling down here quite a bit. Around this 13 point. 13 flat is where I'm looking. See where it can get back up to. It's going to get 25 shares there. Let's see what it wants to do. It's settled here for quite a bit of time, for sure. It has this bottom down here of 1250. Would probably be the next add point that I'll be looking at. SABS. Still doing this thing to the downside. It's about to be number one. All these little wicks up here. All these little wicks up here, definitely a little scary. We got 1217 here. We have a bottom here of 1250 that I could add into down here. On DYNX front page news, and you telling me you can't get up anymore? Let's see, we got 1361. 1361. It's a little stop point, but it is a lower high. So I'm gonna give it some time down there to figure out what it wants to do. If it wants to continue to climb. HSDT again holding over this 1605. SABS dripping as well. Ooh. GCTK going on down. Yeah. Yep. Been selling for quite a while. And then it's got a high up here, 1309, that could possibly get back to. But I will be looking to add around the 1250 level. Okay, GCTK going on down there. SABS about to be number one, but it continues to make these lower highs and it's really choppy here. So it may just be an unpredictable explosion at the open with this much volume. See, coming down here to this flat spot. So back up to 303, 1303. Well, I didn't get a new ad, but I'm in there for 25 shares. We'll see where that ends up going. If it can get a little love up there, possibly. HSDT coming back to this 1605 again. Let me move this over here. Okay. I think this thing's gonna end up breaking here in a little bit. It's just been doing this too much. All these fakes, fake. All that volume, I don't know. GCTK, no catalyst, so not worried about that one coming up. It's about to be overshadowed by SABS here. That was a lot of those wicks, a lot of choppiness. Let's see if it gets punched in the mouth again at that $4 whole dollar level. Looks like DYNX is over. Let's see. So 1303 is, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get another ad spot on this one. I was looking at that 1250 right there for a possible ad, but it's kind of just playing above it. It is what it is. My entry was at, or my average price is at 1303. So if it wants to get back over 1360s or, you know, even higher, back up to 14, great. Great, great, great. Again, HSDC sitting on this 1605. When will that give out? Sabis or SABS took the lead and dumped. Took the lead, got popped in the mouth and dumped. Oh wow, DYNX is up. Okay. Well, I didn't get my other ad, but it is what it is. To make $100 on this, it'll need to get up to 1704 on these 25 shares. Got in small. I was like, well, let's just see what happens, right? Let's just see what happens. But it is 30. I'm up 30 cents right now. But we'll see if it starts to find any more disinterest. HSDT, what you got going? This thing just keeps holding this level. Sabi's got popped in the mouth and then popped back up. So it's hurting both sides. It's hurting shorts and longs here. Yep. Look at those pops, man. Definitely a little bit of pain. And then it has this top side at 425 up here. 425 tap is going to get hit in the mouth again. Come back under $4 flat. Wow. They won't knock it down. They won't do it. Okay, there's the pop out on SA. Oh, my DYNX is up too. So I guess that's $11. But like I said, to make $100, I need to get up there to 1709 on these 25 shares, and I did not get another ad. We'll see if it starts to trend up or whatnot, but it is what it is. It's got the crypto news. If it flips on me, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, but I did not get another ad on that. All right, SABS. Are you going to get punched in the mouth? You're going to keep going. So it is above the pre-market high. Let's see if there's any other obvious levels up there, because pre-market high was like the highest level that we had. Let's go back to the daily chart on it. Maximum. Daily chart on SABS. So this was pre-market high. It just hit a high of 440. So up in here somewhere where it got slapped last time. So let's go ahead and activate this, move it on up. 440. Activate 440 right there. All right, so it has been here another time. I guess we could back up a little bit. Yeah, definitely going back to 250 at this point is probably just out of range. I'm thinking that's super weak on the day. But yeah, I'm not really into that. All right, so it's coming back down. GKT. HDT. This one's continuing to just go sideways. So entry right there at that 13 level. And like I said, this is a lower low, so that does not mean that it's uptrending. It's got to form higher levels here. Let me go to the 15 minutes. So this is what the 15 minute was looking like down here. This low at 1265 is the bottom for this one, and then the absolute bottom, the pre-market bottom, is looking like 1244 there. So, you know, a lot of just space and opportunity for it to act up. Sabis or SABS coming on back down there. Hit that 444, gave back everything back into this range, got slapped in the mouth. If we look at the breakout was only about 30, maybe 30 cents there. So there was some opportunity, but smaller opportunity there for sure. GCTK. You said SAB, they got news 6 minutes ago. Not a press release, right? I don't see that. News 6 minutes ago. The last news I see is at 6:30, and then 6:32 for SEC filing and then a press release. Sabi's bio announces oversubscribed. Yeah, I don't see any other news there. They do have Q1 earnings unconfirmed in 11 days, but again, private placements and all that, I'm like, I don't know, man. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. SABS. HSDT continue. Why is it holding this level, bro? Just break down. This 1605 has just been probably plaguing people trying to see a breakdown there. SABS hammering on down, and we only have 4 right now on the scans. HSDT, you ready to slam through? Get on off the scans. Tapping finally. Okay, so it just needs to break a low of 15. Bro, never mind. It's just playing. SABS breaking down to lower levels. Yep. Slapped in the mouth. Okay, what is DYNX doing? Still looking like it's trying to go down a little bit. It's in this previous level of trading, but I don't think I'm going to be looking to do any adding until it gets maybe to like 12, maybe at 1250 and starts to do some type of trend up. But right now I'm just not seeing a trend. Not seeing a trend at all. Had a little pop up here to 1320s. We'll see if this becomes some type of higher level for it. But right now just struggling on that 1350. There's a little bit of volume coming in there. Point of control right now is at 1404. I wonder, can you get above that? $13.50. This one, I mean, went back up there, got a little breakout, but just couldn't hold any of the levels that it was struggling with. Come on and break down, buddy. You're one of the last frontiers. Right back to that point of control. And you know shorts definitely are on this one. With 15 million shares traded, retracing to this point of control multiple times. Yeah, they are hungry today. What's the probability of it popping all the way from 375 all the way up here to 440s again? I'm thinking it's gonna form a lower high. AGC. All right, so we finally got a breakdown of 1605, and it's going right down to this ATR. Should get a bounce here, ATR highs, which got a little bit of a bounce there. And yeah, so that's the ATR high that it's hitting right now, but we've been waiting on that forever. A little bit of bounce. Yeah, all right. But at least it's falling now. So see if anything else can play ball. Break down this 1510. Keep on going down, baby. We'll pull back there. Man, DYNX, what you looking like over here? What you looking like? A little struggle bait right there at the 350s. 350 break would be nice. Which definitely showing some showing a level of the point of control is at 347 now. So the majority of the trades have happened at 347. Breaking down to lower lows, 1503s. Starting to use this ATR high as a little bit of resistance. PMN moving just over 2 million float. Let me look at PMN. PMN. Oh, that's PMN. Okay. So this one, does it have the catalyst or something? Let's see. PMN. How much volume does it have too? PMN volume is 43 million there. Okay. Okay. This is called Primus Neurosciences. All right. So it says, why is it moving? Promus Neurosciences shares are trading higher after the company announced the FDA granted received fast track designation to PMN 310. Press releases. Press releases was for today. Last one was talking about a conference for earnings and all of that. So PMN right here. Let's see. Promus Neurosciences, Inc., clinical stage biotechnology company committed to the discovery and development of therapeutic antibodies targeting toxic misfolded proteins and neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, and Parkinson's disease. Today announced that the U.S. Food and Drug Administration has granted fast track designation to PMN 310, the company's lead therapeutic candidate and development for the treatment of Alzheimer's disease. The FDA Fast Track program is intended to accelerate the development of therapies that aim to address serious conditions and fill an unmet medical need. This designation enables enhanced engagement with the FDA, opening the door to potentially more efficient path to approval for PMN 310. This is a pivotal moment for Promus and the Alzheimer's community, as receiving fast track designation not only underscores the potential of PMN 301 to address a critical unmet need, but also provides valuable opportunities for regulatory insight as we advance towards key clinical milestones. Okay. So Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and lateral sclerosis. Okay. PMN. What's the let me go to the float. Float is 32.02 million. Outstanding shares 32.68 or 32.689 million. So I guess 69 million. All right. So that one, we'll see what it does during the open. Got a couple minutes to the open. DYNS, let me go back through some of these. So we got PMN, we got SABIs, or SABS continues down. GCTK continues down. HSDT, and then we got DYNX, finding a flatness right here at the 1350s. Could not get over it at the 1350. I was expecting a little bit more excitement there. So what I may do is I may get out, take this little $5 and look to re-enter on a lower drop down here is what I may end up doing. So I'm going to sell. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get out, and I think it can get back down to where was I trying to get to? And I'm trying to sell the ask. I don't want to sell the bid. Somebody's gonna come up here and buy them. Come on up here. You see my stuff. I'm putting it out there on the books and just taking it back, swiping it back real fast, like, because I really don't want to sell on the bid. but I might have to save myself some, because I think it can come lower. All right, I'll sell on the bid then. Y'all want me to sell on the bid? I'll sell on the bid. I shall sell on the bid. 10 shares. Yeah, I'm gonna let it come on back down to 13s if possible. I know this is a trap. Come on, send me on the ass. Y'all see me playing around out here. Feel me. Just feel me. Just a little pop. Just a little pop. All right, there's my pop. All right, I'm all out. All right, so I got my fill. I'm gonna let that go back down to 13, and I may reassess and retry. But anyway, let's go out here because I'm thinking like if it's excited, it'll just get going. I gave it some time to play around, but I'm gonna look for it to come back to the 13s. All right, GCTK. Okay, so this one's all the way under that ATR high, so I'm not worried about that. SABS making lower lows there. A lot of volume coming. And the other thing is that I'm looking at is why, look at how much volume is up here, 48 million. Or, well, actually, y'all gotta look over here. Look at how much volume is up here in comparison to DYNX. We got 16. Oh, okay. We got 16 million. We got 12. We got 11, 10, and then DYNX. Why isn't it getting the interest? So, you know, if it's not going and I'm still in the green, I'm just gonna be like, hey, let me just retry lower, you know. As far as everything else, SABS is leading, but I know PMN was up here as well. But PMN, it is a lower, it's a lower price stock. I don't know what the ATR value is on it. Let me go see ATR. ATR looks like it closed yesterday with a 9-cent ATR. So if it closes that ATR back down, let's see where it came from. It came from 47 cents down there, 47 all the way out to $1.02. And if it starts to revert back to that 9 cents, that's going to be bad because that means that you're going to have to be willing to take 1 cent, 2 cent wins, right? Because out of nine shares or 9 cents, let me see how much 2 cents is. Let's see. So 2 cents divided by 0.9, that's a 20% move. 2 cents is a 20% move of its original ATR. So, I mean, are you willing to take 2 cents is the question. DYNX did end up going down a little bit, dropping back down. Glad I sold out of that. Had the point of control that it was coming back up to, and I got out. So yeah, whatever. I was looking for it to get excited and really get up there. $100 win would have been up there at 1708. And that's what that green line is. I don't know why I can't. I tried to program it where it would just give me a flat line, but it always gives me this little, once I get out or get in, give me this little, wherever the starting point is, it gives me a line up. I'm like, bro, just make it a flat line, but it wouldn't do it. So it is what it is, but it works pretty good, showing me where, you know, where's $100? Where would I make that at, you know? But yeah, out of that, slip back over to HSDT, came back over, but struggling at this ATR high. GCTK, no catalyst to continue that push up. Lower highs. And then SABS, not doing much either. Okay. Okay. So it is 7:30. So far, it looks like we're gonna have to see. I mean, if anything new pops up, it's got a lot of competition on the board. It's got cheap competition, PMN. It's got higher price competition with $10 and $14, $13. And then it's got like mid competition from SABS. So there's a lot of things moving on today. And I think the open is going to shed light on what's actually going to be ripping. You know, I can't believe this thing, man. When I saw it make this lower low, I've seen this several times. It'll come make a lower low. If it doesn't get excited and it just start ripping, I'm gonna go ahead and get out because I'm thinking, okay, this thing's gonna come back and test this 1269, and I don't want to be in right there. I'd rather, we come down, swing to 1269. I get my new entry, and maybe it holds, this 1250 level, and I get, a pretty good entry right there around 1250, and then we try to go up, you know. But just, wanting to kind of slow down on my entries and not just jump in, 300 shares and because on that particular stock, especially, you can lose $1 in seconds, $1 per share in seconds. So it'd be a $300 loss in a blink of an eye. So I'm kind of taking a slow entry towards, or a slower entry towards what I'm usually looking for. And look at that, right on back down to 13. Right on back down to 13. So this was the low. It hasn't proven itself that it can hold this yet at the 1269. And also it's only up 26%. All right, HSDT also melting like ice cream. GCTK continues to play, but I think that's going to be a big fail on the open. Too many things have catalysts. Too many things have reasons to move today. And it's not that PMN can't show up on my scanner because of the price. It's because of the ATR. I like looking for ATR of at least 30 cents, so I can make 10 cents relatively easy. And then when they get up to $1, $2 in the ATR, you can make 10. It's like, okay, this thing's moving 10 cents every second. Good morning. You said tomorrow is your money. Tomorrow is your birthday? Can you get $20? Well, $20 for tomorrow. What kind of verification do I have that tomorrow is actually your birthday though? Is this like how do I know? How do I really know? I mean, with the way my crypto portfolio has been moving, I probably could, but how do I really know? PMN. You will send a pic of your birthday party. Wait. You said today is or tomorrow is your birthday, but you already have pictures today of your birthday party. That's crazy. Like how long you celebrate? Like y'all, that birthday is crazy. Y'all turn up. You wait, go to bed blackout drunk, and wake up on your birthday like, man, today's the day. That's crazy. I've never heard of future birthday party pictures. That's a new one for me. Let me see, GCTK. That is a news one. SABS. It's just sitting on that 13. Yeah. Yeah, this one's gonna have to. They're gonna have to cook and show us what actually has value today. And this one's just popping around at this point. Right? I wouldn't be surprised if he has like silver hair. Oh yeah, today's my birthday. I have this capsule where I can deploy and have a spaceship at the beck and call. Let's see. You know how smart you would have to be to compress matter into a capsule that is deployable at any time, just off the reaction to oxygen or atmospheric pressure. You know how smart you have to be, bro? That is insane. And it's deadly, because if you pop the wrong thing beside you, you could die. You put a spaceship right beside you and it explodes into its full form. Yeah. Yeah. Could be your last capsule you pop. You buy that stock? Oh man. I don't know, man. I had to see what those lawsuits looking like first. I don't know. I feel like if Elon was able to create something like that, I think a lot of people would jump on just on the hype train. SABS is falling towards that downside gap entry we saw on the daily. Continue to press there. It is under 30% now, and also DYNX going down under $13. I was looking for it to get a little hype, but just continuing this flat motion doesn't mean it's done, but definitely putting us on the waiting list down there. Okay, and then this one, let's see where you went. Continue to go down. Yeah, lower highs, just walking down, stair stepping down. SABS and PMN. PMN going back up there towards that 113, up 154%. So basically, PMN may be, let me see, what's the RVO? I wish it had a little bit bigger ATR. I could see it on my scan. I don't know what the RVO is on it though. But throwing wicks both ways, went up there and touched almost pre-market highs at the 118, coming back into this indecisive level where it is trading pretty much the body 107 down to 106. That's a 1 cent little bitty shelf right there, and it's trading below it. So, but it also has a bottom right down here. This is on the $1 even, looks like, almost. So 5 cents away. But those are some very scary little ticks back and forth on it. All right, so we are back down towards this 13, looking like we again are down here. Do we want to try it again for this 13 is the question. Try it again and then maybe look to let's see, 1270. Could this be something possible for it to bounce? It's a question. It's back under 13, my original entry, and I really just don't know what it could do from something like this, especially being only up 26% with all of this competition up here. I'm just gonna have to wait. PMN though, bouncing back and forth on that 2 cents. Like I said, we did the calculation, 2 cents. This thing's bouncing back and forth, 2 cents, 2 cents, 2 cents. So people are playing it very small. I don't know how big their sizes are with this 2 cents. Let me look at it. It's got 60 million shares traded on it. So they definitely could be taking 2 cent gains. But the snaps is what'll get you. Or if it decides to go in one direction, like if it breaks down this $1, that's a quick 6 cent drop right there. So if you got 20,000, 40,000 shares on that quick drop, that's gonna hurt your feelings. SABS almost broke down, but did get that lower low there, a lower low. So they can't get excited immediately. It's probably gonna be fading on down. All right, it is 7:45. I got 15 minutes until my morning meeting, so I'm about to get ready to go and get ready for that. And I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord. The Discord was dropped in there. It's a free Discord, no paywalls or anything like that. But that's where we'll do any kind of updates or whatnot. And this one coming down here to 1297, but still really hasn't tested back down here to this 1269 on DYNX right there at the 13. So I'm not sure about that, especially after this this long pole here. Want to see it actually stop above 1268, or if it does dash down to 1250 and give me an entry for the open. But again, like I said, I'm not gonna push it. It's got a lot of competition on the board, a lot. So kind of just want to be mindful of that. But yeah, I'm about to get ready to get on down, make some money on Monday morning. Took a small trade, small green trade, but it just didn't get excited. You know, we've seen these crypto ones, which DYNX is a crypto type catalyst, where they pop 10, $15. And so, 25 shares, it pops from back up there to the 20s. That's a $7 move on 25 shares. So it's 25 bucks per dollar. So that's 25 times 7, right? So that's quick. Boom. You just up there. Um, but if it doesn't want to get excited and it's got too much competition on the board, I'm willing to just lay low. Anyway, that is the stream for today. I do have to get off of here and get ready. I got a lot of reporting to do. I did so much work over the weekend and Friday and all that stuff. So got a lot of things that I got to update different engineers on. So yeah, I'm about to jump off of here. Appreciate you guys for tuning in for sure. Oh, I always forget, hit the like button. Man, I always forget to say that, man. And if you enjoy the content, definitely subscribe. We are here in pre-markets, kind of looking for pre-market trades, and we can take profit. Great. All I got was like a Wendy's hamburger today, but that's okay. Sometimes it blows up and we're up 100 very quickly, so it is what it is. But I would like to do slower entries towards my full position. Seems to work out better when I do it that way. One, because it's less stress. Two is because it's just gives me more time to validate different levels and things like that. And if it does dump, it's on smaller share size, so it's not like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. But anyway, that is it for today. And as always, I will see you guys tomorrow morning during pre-market. Peace. Let's see. Where am I? I am in front of my computer. That's where I am.